Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
God, we're already in the game. Okay. We're just standing there. Anyways, welcome back. Today I am playing a game called Dear Esther. Don't know what to expect, but yeah, we're gonna get into it. So let's see what's in here. Okay, there's zoom in. Oh wow. Okay, all four of these buttons zoom in. Interesting. Oh. Seagull. Bunch of paint that glows in the dark, I guess? Or maybe it's just very bright. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna go up here. Looks to me like there is a cell tower or something up there. Game's looking pretty nice. Path is not very safe.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Uh-oh. I maneuver. Ooh. Oh, no, I cannot. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna walk this path then. On the beach. Oh, I hear a boat.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
What is smart? Oh. Maybe this is the right path or something?
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice
Car
at bay.
parts.
Shot through me caves. My forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
I gotta go all the way back. Come on, man. Alright, I guess a little bit of an intermission. Okay, we are back on track, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what is going on, but I'll find out.
Reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight, he landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend, but then he didn't have my reasons. When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this: to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Infection. Keep the rescuers at bay. What?
We are
going
not
on
like
here?
Lot's wife,
What
you
it
and
is?
I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms.
Tombstones.
No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence. Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I threw my arms wide and the cliff opened out before me, making this rough home. I transferred my belongings from the bothy on the mount and tried to live here instead. It was cold at night and the sea lapped at the entrance at high tide. To climb the peak, I must first venture even deeper into the veins of the island, where the signals are blocked altogether. Only then will I understand them, when I stand on the summit and they flow into me, uncorrupted. I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
Oh.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the
finished
stretch
a
of the
chapter,
M5 between
apparently.
Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as
Oh,
some
we found
evidence.
something.
It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Yellow light. What are these? Barrels or something. I think that's just a buoy. Looks to be. Yeah, this is a huge wreck. A lot of cargo got messed up. Tell me no one came looking for this thing? It's an expensive cargo vessel. It looks expensive at least. If there's 3 locked crates on this thing, ooh, that would be crazy. It's a Rust reference. Can we get up there? Guess I'll just look around. Looks like we're just gonna have to take the cliff side. Right, straight up.
An imagined answer phone message. The tires are flat, the wheel spins loosely, and the brake fluid has run like ink over this map, staining the landmarks and rendering the coastline mute, compromised. Where you saw galaxies, I saw only bruises cut into the cliff by my lack of sobriety.
Oh, we gotta go this way. Okay. Oh. I'm not even gonna test that and see if it works. We're just gonna step right past that. He's putting bear traps over here, man.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Ooh.
What charnel house
This
lies
is
at the foot
not
of this
safe
abyss?
at all.
How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
I don't want to find out. But, oh my god, there's a house. Well, hello, house.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning. The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Oh, more drones. And what's going on here? This is one of the most confusing games I've ever played. I don't know what's going on. More drawings. So the octopus thing again. Hello.
3 cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long
That
dead shepherd.
blood doesn't look super
Contents.
old.
My camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs,
Maybe it
my
is, who
clothes,
knows?
my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
Oh. Down or up? I'm gonna take a look down real quick. Okay. I'm gonna keep going up then.
He left his body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after
This
his
is,
passing. The report is included in my
Okay.
edition of his book.
uh-huh.
The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver, scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones.
Oh no.
He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use
Slide
makes him
down
an
a little
unreliable
bit.
witness,
The wall.
I find myself increasingly
Yeah.
drawn into his orbit.
Hate to be the guy that crashed this thing.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest,
The music has
but
changed.
it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical
That
supplies I
candle?
looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Okay, someone's here. Candles don't just like themselves. Oh god, do I gotta go down? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm going down anyways.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us, and whatever correspondence can be drawn from the wet rocks.
Yeah, what are the cicadas doing? I just heard them. Like another candle. Someone drawing bubbles. That's like bioluminescence or something. Is that blood? There's more. Or is that just the graphics? Huh. Okay. What is going on here, man? I don't know what to think. I can't tell if this is... There's mushrooms. I can't tell if this is like some evil death cave or some chill, smooth sailing type of cave. Oh, I'm going a little bit faster now. This works. Have a candle.
They'd stopped the traffic back as far as the Sandford Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
Wait. Huh? I gotta go into the middle. There's 3 candles. Oh. There we go. Oh, I leave. What kind of place is this, man? Oh, there's... Okay. Alright, let's go this way. Whoa. Do I gotta go down there? Not seen any other way. Let's try it. Okay, under the water looks really nice. Wow. Mushrooms, more mushrooms. There we go, that's fine. Wow. This place is pretty crazy. And someone else is here, man. There's a bunch of candles. And very recent. I mean, the wax hasn't even melted that much. See, is that blood? What is that? It could just be the graphics, but I don't know.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
Maybe so.
When I was coming round from the operation, I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if...
I like how half the time it kind of just sounds like he's talking about these exact areas that I'm at. It probably is kind of like or I don't even know. It's wordplay. That's what they're doing. They're playing with their words. How I'm playing this game right now. And it is so late. I'm tired. But the show must go on. We're gonna push. Oh, it's getting viney. Uh-oh. Away from being... I want to pretend like I know what that says. Oh. And it... I want to say this is small, but I don't know. Gee, I don't know what that says, man. Pretty chill in here. Man, we fell far down. What is going on here? It's super vine room. With the water. Oh, I gotta go under the water. I wonder if you can drown. I'm not gonna test that, though. I'm gonna fall down again, or can I walk past this? I gotta fall down again. Where are we at? I'm gonna guess we're swimming? I don't know what else we could be doing. Alright, let's go. I'm back in the water. Okay. Wow. Oh, I'm about to leave the freaky cave. Cue the music, I guess. Alright.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
What is this? Well, I need to get get some trophies. I gotta die from falling off the cliff, and then... Speaking about falling off the cliff, who is that guy?
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed.
Who that guy
It was never
is.
intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
Who's that? Looks like he's transparent. Is that a ghost? Alright. What is it? It's like some stuff for the doctor. Hey, doc, let me get a hit. I don't know what to do there, so I'm gonna keep moving. He? Why is he hitting that pose? Alright, well, might as well keep going. I guess I was supposed to go down this one. Picture frame. I wish I could tell you what this is. That is a very long sword. Or katana. What is that? That just is. We're just gonna keep moving. Actually, wait, hold on. Is it a stick? I don't know, man. I still don't know what this means. Alright, we're gonna go back. Here's the tower. I don't think I went up to that. Alright, well. Oh, I'm gonna keep going this one. Alright, what's this? Parts of a car. This island is peculiar.
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity. From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats.
Paper.
I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Alright, let's do this.
When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they resuscitated him by hitting him in the chest with stones gathered by the roadside. He was lifeless for 21 minutes, certainly long enough for the oxygen levels in his brain to have decreased and caused hallucinations and delusions of transcendence.
Yeah, that guy is an okay.
I'm running out of painkillers, and the moon has become almost unbearably bright.
Dude, maybe that's the guy right there. This is like freaky ghost.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
And he was proceeding on his journey. And he's not even up here. Well, here goes nothing. Well, that was
Come back.
a lot less dramatic than what I thought was going to happen. I just skipped down there. Okay. Well, let's keep going. And
If only Donnelly had experienced this,
there.
he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
I don't know. It's really killing me.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
And it came to pass that as what is going on, man? I know I'm not crazy. What's going on? Okay, had to wiggle in. And it came to pass that as I made the journey, and I couldn't tell. I don't know what it's saying now. I read it from this angle anyway. Oh, we're getting high up now. Hey, I was down there early. Oh, that was close.
A gull perched on a spent bonnet, sideways, whilst the sirens fell through the middle distance and the metal moaned in grief about us. I'm about this night in walking, old bread and gull bones, old Donnelly at the bar gripping his drink, old Esther walking with our children, old Paul as ever, old Paul. He shakes and he shivers and he turns off his lights alone.
We got paper. What's the next journey? Stuff there. No idea. Starting to get windy. I would love to know where these leaves are coming from. They're not coming from that way. Where are they coming from? Are these ashes? What? Sure as almost.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Oh, okay. Don't do it. Well, you already did it, but are you trying to skydive in the water? Yeah, you're not making that, pal. Yeah, you're done. Oh, it's over. I'm a bird? What's going on? Hold on, we need to address the fact that I just turned into like a bird or something. What just happened? Why is it taking me along the path that I just walked, man? I know what happened to you. I just walked here. Oh. Well, that's cool.
Come back.
Well, I guess that concludes this game.